Welcome to a special idea scaling edition of the Idea Climbing Podcast. You can dominate your market and scale your business when you create a market dominating position. I discuss how to do that in this episode with my guest, Ed Middlebrooks. Ed is not your typical business coach. He's a strategic weapon for entrepreneurs who are done playing small. Ed is the founder of Elite Profit Coach, where he works with driven business owners to uncover hidden profit, outmaneuver competitors, and install dominance into the markets. He's also the architect behind RealSpeak.ai, a precision intent data engine that tracks over 70 billion buyer behaviors every week, giving his clients a crystal ball into who's ready to buy, when, and why. We dive into topics such as the 3 things that prospects need to see before doing business with you, the 4-step strategy to discover and launch your market dominating position to dominate your market, the one thing above all else that you need to do to create your market dominating position, and more golden nuggets of advice. You're going to love this show. Ed, thank you for making time to be on the Idea Scaling Podcast. I really appreciate it.
No, Mark, thank you so much for having me. It is an absolute pleasure to be here.
And off camera, we were talking, and I had a question. You had some great answers for it. I figured we got to capture lightning in a bottle. It was, as a business coach, how can you grow and scale your business? And there are a few ways you mentioned it. Before we get into that, though, as far as growing and scaling your business in that realm, what's your story? How did you get so good at it that you can teach others now?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you that I actually was the kid in the server closet for 25 years working a job in IT services. And that job really got me into I guess you could say business planning, so to speak, because when you're in technology and that technology affects the growth of a business, I found myself interfacing with high-level executives, C-suites, CEOs, and it was more than just, hey, let me figure out why your mouse isn't working today. It was, how does the infrastructure of the business really allow us to foster growth and increase communications and ultimately increase sales and marketing? So I would say 25 years of that. And then I left the corporate IT world because I learned a thing or two about real estate investing and how to automate a business using what I call the 5 steps of every business, which is to get customers, right? You got to generate leads, and then you got to pre-screen those leads. You got to construct and present offers. You've got to close quickly, and you've got to follow up with everybody. And those 5 steps exist in so many places within a business. Though I will tell you that my real estate investing career, we bought 24 houses with none of our own money, no banks and no credit. That's actually a thing. I had 17 Airbnbs, and I built up a multi-million-dollar business of providing rentals. We have an RV that we rent on RV Share that we bought with none of our own money, no banks, no credit, and it's a Mercedes-Benz. We had cars on Turo. We've had Airbnbs. We've had lease options, owner-financed real estate deals, and we've taken the strategies that we have learned with interfacing with C-suite executives and doing all of this really fun stuff with just negotiating and speaking to people. And we discovered that the secrets to growing and scaling a business are fairly unique to each business, but yet they all come down to a singular strategy or pattern that when you put the building blocks in the right order, things happen, they grow, they work.
Well, in the coaching world, where do you even start? Let's start there. I mean, where do you, as far as growing and then scaling, what's the starting point?
Sure. Well, I think you've got to take an analysis of the business. And I'll tell you that when it comes to growing and scaling a business, I think most entrepreneurs look at, how do I generate more revenue? Right? They're always thinking about the income. They want to foster more business. And whereas that's true to a point, what we find is that a lot of businesses are always just chasing good money after bad. They spend more money on ads, not really understanding the fundamentals of their business. And I have this mantra that I learned along the way, and that is that revenue feeds the ego. Profit feeds your family. And so when we talk about growing and scaling a business, I'll actually show a business how to become more profitable without even spending any money on marketing, or right, no new ads. And this is assuming, of course, that there's already a steady flow of business that's coming in to that company. And what we can do is we can make some changes. We can reduce the cost of goods sold. We can take a look at making more compelling offers. And yet one thing stands out above everything else, Mark. And that is got to be understanding your company's market dominating position, right? Otherwise known as a unique selling position. What is the market dominating position of your company? Because if you don't have that, then really what you're doing is you're throwing money into marketing. You're hoping that people connect with your message, and you're doing what everybody else does, and you're stuck in the red ocean and you're not in a blue ocean. And I'm not talking about creating a product that nobody else has. I'm talking about what is the capacity of your business to provide unique and superior value, or even deliver unique and superior value amongst all the competition. Can I give you an example of that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Take a look at a dentist's office, right? So let's say that I don't have insurance, or I have a dental practice that caters to people who don't have dental insurance, right? And the reason for that is because what I do as a dentist is I will offer dental plans and services, not plans, but I'll offer dental services for the same rates that most people are paying the copay. So I'm looking for customers that don't have dental insurance because that's my specialty. And so if my marketing is to simply go out and say, hey, I'm a dentist, we clean and whiten your teeth, we are an amazing dentist, we're board certified, we've got amazing credentials. Well, that's all fair, well and good. But what I haven't done is I haven't really captured my market dominating position and gotten my MDP statement out into the marketplace. So I'm going to shift gears and change my hat for a minute and say, if I'm the customer and I'm looking for a dental practice that doesn't worry about the fact that I don't have insurance and they have rates that are super affordable, now I start looking for dentists. The first one I go to, and what do they say? Hey, we're board certified, and these are the dental plans that we accept. Well, that's not what I'm looking for, right? I already know this is going to be a struggle because this dental practice, all they care about is what insurance do you have, right? So I move on to the next one. And what do they say? We're board certified and we take these other dental plans, right? We can handle Medicare, we can handle Delta Dental or any of these dental providers. Well, I don't have insurance. So again, you aren't speaking to me as the customer. But then all of a sudden I click on this website and it says, we cater to people who do not have insurance, and we offer prices that are around the same amount as people's what's the term? I just said it a second ago. Their copay, around the same prices as a typical dental copay. Well, now the marketing message was catered to me, and it's speaking to me because that dental practice that I'm looking at, their market dominating position, their unique and superior value speaks directly to me. Do you think that I'm going to look at any other dentist at that point, or have I already found exactly what I'm looking for?
Oh, completely. Okay, this is getting interesting. Could you give an example in the coaching or consulting world of that too? Because that's another red ocean.
Sure. So I will tell you this, as opposed to giving you a specific coaching example, here's the question that you got to ask, because it really doesn't matter what the industry is. The questions really comes down to, what benefits do you offer to your target market that separates you from all of your competitors? Now, once you figure that out, like what's the capacity of your business? And I did ask the question already, what the MDP can be defined as, what is the capacity of your business to deliver unique and superior value? But let's change the word capacity to competency, right? Or capability. What is the capability of your company to provide unique and superior value? Now, here's the question. This is the key to everything. And you must get this cornerstone question before you do anything, before you build your website, before you start a social media campaign, before you throw any money or dollars behind any marketing strategy. And that is this: once you figure out those benefits, you have to ask yourself the question, are those benefits based on the hot buttons of your prospects? So what are the problems that your prospects have and don't want, or the results that they want but don't have? Once you know who your target customer is, I mean, down to what kind of car they drive, you have identified your customer avatar, you know where they are, so you know your target rich environment or your TRE. Now you're asking the question, what are their hot button items? And what are the benefits that I offer that can solve their challenge, that gives them what they don't have but they want, or it solves the problem that they have and don't want? So if I were to walk through your business and ask all of your employees, what's your market dominating position or what's your USP? To what degree do you think that I would get the same answer from the employees?
I'm going to
Right?
guess you wouldn't get the same answer twice.
Probably not, right? And that's a challenge. How can you really run a market dominating position where the employees working for your business, they don't even know what the market dominating position of your company is? All they know is, hey, we're a dental practice, right?
Yeah.
All they know is, hey, we change tires. All they know is, hey, we do construction services. All they know is, hey, we do business coaching. That's all they know. How much more effective is your strategy going to be when your market dominating position is defined, your MDP statement is put out into the marketplace, and all of your employees are functioning like a well-oiled machine to the same goal of solving that challenge for those particular customers? Once you do that, now writing your website is going to be a whole lot easier. Running your social media campaigns is going to be a whole lot easier. And going to networking events and giving your elevator pitch is going to be a whole lot easier. So it's not really about how do we get a coaching business out of the red ocean. It's what is the capacity and the capability of that coaching business to provide unique, meaning not everybody else is doing it, and superior, meaning it's better than all the others, value in the marketplace.
So how do you create two things? How do you create a client avatar? And what advice or wisdom, if you will, do you have to impart to the people that say, oh, I work with men or I work with women? Why should they create a client avatar and how do they go about it? An ideal client avatar.
Well, your business might be unique, but it's not going to matter to your prospects unless it's a hot button issue for them. And a market dominating position is basically a USP or unique selling proposition or a distinct advantage targeting the hot buttons of your market. So if you're creating a customer avatar, I'm going to ask you the question, who do you want your target avatar to be? Like once you start asking the questions about what is the capacity or the capability of your business, then you start asking the question, well, who needs that? Who needs that service? What are their hot button items and how can I uniquely solve their challenge? Or how can I uniquely provide them the products and the services that they're looking for? So who are those people? How do I create an avatar? I work my way backwards. I start looking at what do I already have, and then what are the people that need that? And if I have a hard time finding that avatar, now I got to start taking a look at, well, in this industry, what is the number one complaint, problem, service, challenge, price point that people have a massive issue with or that people want? And then how can I structure my business in order to meet that demand? Now I can say my target avatar is these people. And even though that takes up 90% of that particular market, I can say that is my target avatar. And I am uniquely positioned to solve their challenge or offer them products and services because I have positioned it. So let's take a look at something that's a bit of a commodity. Okay.
I'm with you.
Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza. Back in the 60s, Domino's came on the scene and, Pizza Hut was in restaurants. They were in restaurant mode where people were coming to the restaurant and Pizza Hut says, hey, I've got this great pizza and all of these salads and stuff to sell to everybody. Come on in, sit down and have a family dining experience. And Domino's says, well, look, I could do the same thing, or I can recognize that who I'm going after is hungry college students who want fast, fresh pizza when they ask for it, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so Domino's says, well, as we're building, my market dominating position is that and this is the statement, we provide hot, fresh, and ready pizza to college students when they're hungry, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because they recognized that their target avatar really was the college kids, because college kids eat pizza more than the whole family eats pizza. Mom and dad don't want to go out to pizza every single day, but a college kid, man, they want it. Now, the challenge is Pizza Hut is in the local city, right? So now the college student has to leave campus, go all the way into town in order to get pizza. So Domino's says, well, how can I provide superior value? and be unique. We'll get as close to the college campuses as possible, or even onto the college campuses where we can create those kinds of deals and structures. So now Domino's is right there where the kids want to be. And the kid walks in, they order a pizza, they don't have to wait for it to be made because they already have pre-made pizzas ready to go. So the kid gets a hot, fresh, ready pizza right now when they want it, and they don't have to go far to get it. That was the market dominating position of Domino's, and it springboarded. Look at Pizza Hut today. All of those restaurants, they're shut down. Not Pizza Hut corporate, but they've moved into strip mall mode, right? They've taken a look at what the other pizza shops are doing. Domino's got into delivery. Everybody got into delivery, right? So now Pizza Hut is following suit, and they don't have the big building that's really expensive where people come in and buy pizza. No. What do they have? They've got a little shop in a strip mall. You walk in, there's just a front counter. There's not even tables anymore. You order a pizza, they cook it, you get it, you walk out, right? Little Caesars, you go into Little Caesars and they have cheese and pepperoni, hot, fresh, and ready for you, $5 or $6. They're looking for, I want cheap, hot pizza ready to go. And they even have systems and technology in when you go in. You type in your code, the door opens, here's your pizza, right? Yep. So these companies for pizza, they are all basically, I mean, sure, they all taste different because they have unique ingredients, but they're all providing the same thing. Pepperoni or cheese pizza, super fast, hot, ready, fresh, and let's go. So that's what Domino's did back in the 60s. And they went from nothing to becoming the behemoth in the market space simply by understanding who their target avatar is and repositioning their branding and their business, the physical locations even, in order to solve those needs.
Yeah, actually, could you unpack that a little bit more? That's what I was wondering, listening to you, that story. Once you do the work to create the ideal client avatar, what should be next? Okay, I've got my avatar, now what?
Well, what needs to be next? So if you decide that your business is already functioning well, you're just defining what that market dominating position is so that you can market it. Okay, maybe there's not anything that needs to change. Every business is different. Every business is unique, but it's understanding that if you are running your marketing from a position of what we call minimum viable standard, which is to say, I have super low prices, I have great customer service, and massive selection, right? Those are the three things that pretty much any customer is going to look for in any business in order to do business with them at all. And those three things are how a lot of companies market their business. I mean, how many times you hear, come to Carpet Warehouse? I don't know. If there's a Carpet Warehouse, I'm not talking about your business. I'm going to throw that disclaimer out. I just made up the name Carpet Warehouse. And what do they say, right? Great selection. And they say friendly customer service and low prices. Come visit Carpet Warehouse today, right? And then Bill's Carpet Discounter gets on and says, we've got great selection, low prices, and friendly customer service, right? And then Jill's Carpet Emporium comes on and we've got low prices and great selection. Okay, you're not differentiating yourself. You're telling your market, you're spending money on ads that say the minimum things that people want, or they're not going to do business with you. For instance, Mark, are you going to buy carpet or any kind of flooring from a flooring place if they're rude to you? Probably not. Not unless that's their shtick. I mean, people go to a restaurant and the entire point of it is the fact that they're rude to you because it's fun, right? They create an environment and that's an experience. And some people like that. But barring that particular model, right? Are you going to go buy flooring from a business that is overcharging you?
No.
Probably not. Okay. Are you going to buy it if they have one kind of flooring in one color? Are you going to go there?
No.
No. So you're saying that you're not going to do business with any of those companies anyway, which means what? It means that they all have to do that. So if I am the flooring company and I market myself as low prices, friendly selection, friendly customer service and great selection, do you think anybody's going to go, oh my gosh, you're kidding. Where have you been all my life? I can't wait to walk through the door of your shop. Probably not.
They're not going to do that. Once you figure this out, assuming that someone had to create the ideal client avatar, okay, this is new, they're watching, this is great, I get it. What happens
Mhm.
next with the marketing strategy when you say, okay, I've got my avatar. What does the marketing strategy look like from there? Is it
Sure.
branding? Is it more marketing? Is it more sales?
Well, it starts off with the math. Okay. It starts off with the math. And so what happens is we start interviewing these companies to find out, do they even understand what their market dominating position is? And then what is the capacity? Remember that that's the key phrase here. What's the capacity of the business? So I'll continue to use the flooring place, right? Now, Mark, imagine that you are a contractor, okay? And your job is to do rehabs on properties, or maybe you're the homeowner. Now you're the homeowner in this situation, and you've been dealing with challenges. You've got kids; they ruin your carpet. You're thinking about other flooring
Mm-hmm.
types, but hardwood floors get scratched, and man, they're a pain in the butt, right?
Yep.
And I hear about Jill's Carpet Emporium, or Jill's Flooring Emporium, and great selection, low prices. Okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden, you come across Ed with the bald heads we'll say Flooring Emporium. That's mine, right? And my market dominating position, because I've worked with a business coach, is come and see us because we offer a lifetime guarantee on all of our flooring, including accidental damage. You will never have to pay more money when you use our flooring, because any incidents, we will come out and we will repair your carpet. Your flooring will always look fresh and new like day one for the lifetime of the flooring, right?
Mhm.
And now how do we do that? Well, you come to our particular shop and my flooring costs 3 or 4 times what it is at other places, with the exception of you can't get my flooring anyplace else. And I have an insurance policy that my customers pay for, that they're actually getting more value than the face value of that insurance
Mm-hmm.
policy, right? So I'm able to increase my costs, or sorry, increase my prices,
Yeah.
right? Not my costs. I want to keep
Yeah.
my costs low, but I increase my prices. And when somebody buys my flooring, I hand them that pamphlet. You know, a lot of people, they won't even use that warranty. So I don't have to worry about the fact that, I'm making this amazing offer, this amazing warranty, because a lot of people will pay for it, but only a fraction of the people will actually utilize it, which puts me in a position to say, yes, my flooring is more expensive. And that's because we offer what nobody else is offering. And the reason you want it is because your challenge is that you've been dealing with scratch floors or a carpet that just gets run down really quickly because of your kids. And yet when you come to us, we're going to take care of cleaning. We're going to take care of maintenance. We're going to take care of making sure that your flooring always looks good. Now, there are conditions to this,
Of course.
and we'll talk about what those look like. But that's one way that you can facilitate. Look, you come to us for a reason. I have now dominated the flooring market in this hypothetical situation simply by offering what nobody else has, even though I'm more expensive than the other guy, which means that my target customer isn't the one who's looking to save a buck. I'm targeting the person who's tired of dealing with flooring that's always getting damaged or messed up, or they want longevity and they don't want to have to deal with it.
So could you
That's
tie
my
this the market dominating position? Can you tie it together with a recap of is it starting with the avatar? Is it starting with the problem? What are like 3 or 4 of the steps just to wrap it up in a package? What would you
Yeah,
tell
sure.
people to do?
Step number one is you have to ask the question, what benefit do you offer your target market that separates you from all of your competitors, right?
Mhm.
So what is the capacity of your business? Then you have to ask yourself the question is, are those benefits based on the hot button of your prospects? And if not, you must survey your customers and find out what their hot buttons are. Once you know what their hot buttons are, you need to make the capacity of your business solve their challenge. Once you do that and you get creative working with a business coach,
Mhm.
somebody who understands this stuff, well, now you're able to say, even if we have to change the entire model of our business, we are now in a position to offer unique and superior value in the marketplace that shifts our business model, not the product, but the business model from the red ocean into the blue ocean. Now we can up our prices because we offer what nobody else is offering, or we do what nobody else is doing. or we offer something additional that separates us from all of our competitors. Let them all keep doing the minimum viable standard. I'm moving out of competing on lowering my price, and I'm moving into offering greater value that I can charge more for, I can make more money. And ultimately, is that or is that not going to increase your profitability that feeds your family?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we've covered a lot of ground in a short period of time. When it
Yeah.
comes, let's stick with this market dominating position. Someone's watching, like, okay, I get it. That's good. You gave me the steps, you wrapped it up. If you were to say, you know what, if you're just to get started or just to get better, if you at least do one thing, at least just do this one thing above all else, what would you say when it comes to market dominating position to get the ball rolling?
Understand the capability and the capacity of your business like nobody else. Once you do that, and keep in mind, MDP is not marketing. It's sure market dominating position is there. It is it is creating the fundamental elements of your business to compete, to market, to get the statement out. The one thing that you must do is strategize. You've got, and there's pieces to this, of course, but the one thing you have to do is figure out that strategy. And at Elite Profit Coach, that's exactly what we help our customers do.
That is a beautiful segue. If people love this, and I'm sure they will, and they want to find you online, what place or places should they go?
They should go to eliteprofitcoach.com and they can see we've actually got some free trainings and marketings. Some people do one-on-ones with me. Other people are in group coaching. We have flash coaching that's completely unlimited. And then we also do just online self-training, which is super duper affordable. And our training is unlike what a lot of people have seen in the marketplace because really we get results for our customers. As I said before, I spent 25 years in IT and I understand marketing like very few people. We offer services that once you define that MDP, once you know who your target avatar is, we can actually market to them like very few other marketing companies can because we understand that it all comes down to credibility. It all comes down to making sure that when your customer finds you and they know this is the company that I'm looking for because they solve my challenge, their next question is, well, are they credible?
Mhm.
Right? So step one is to understand your market dominating position and how you can provide that service to the marketplace. But when people start engaging with you online, social media, your website, any ads that you're running, you need to understand the elements of persuasion and influence. How do we make you look credible so that you're not begging for the business? People are going to see, wow, not only do they say they solve my challenge, but they prove that they can solve my challenge. Take my money.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Ed. I appreciate the time. This has been awesome.
You're welcome, Mark. All right. Well, you have yourself a great one. Thanks again for having me on here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And scene.
Mark.